Mason, who turned his life around after years of drug abuse and incarceration. His journey from prison to higher education is a powerful story of resilience, determination, and transformation. Joining him is his mother Maureen, whose unwavering support, tough love, and belief in second chances played a pivotal role in his turnaround. Together, they share a story of family, redemption, and hope, proving that it's never too late for a fresh start.
The one place that I thought that would be the darkest and would make me even more depressed was actually the one place that I was the happiest for a whole good decade. Since the whole of my 20s I was crippled mentally. That's actually the one place that I got rid of the depression and started feeling like a human again. Ever since that prayer to God to save me. From then, I told myself, another night spent in prison is another night closer to home.
Did you ever, looking at Mason, ever blame yourself as a mom?
Yeah, initially I did. Because I was asking myself whether did I do my best. But to me, I feel that I have done my best. Then why he turned out like that? Yeah, it's very heartbreaking.
So what do you think a mom can or a dad can do? Or do you think it's spare the rod?
I think it doesn't work also, no?
Yeah.
So ultimately it's themselves. If they reflect and think that they are doing something wrong, then probably they will come back. So his reflection is in jail.
That means let them fall, let them...
Yeah. No, it's not let them fall. But I did advise him, but it fell on deaf ears.
Right.
So there's nothing I can do. Yeah, at that stage, he won't listen to you.
Correct. When he was arrested, right, in 2015, what was your thought process?
Because he was brought to the house with a lot of policemen. Okay, they just bring him into the house to check for drugs. I was so shocked to see, him in handcuff. I can't even cry, Yeah, because to me, it's like my fear is there. But when he actually see it, it was a really drain of emotion. No?
Numb to the situation.
Yeah. It was I can't even cry.
And then when did it really hit you? Once you realized he was sentenced?
When I go to sleep.
When you went to sleep. You think about
it. Then it really dawned on me.
Now, Mason, in 2017, though, there was this particular incident that happened. That moment where you were in the psychiatric ward and you were strapped to the bed, When did that moment in prison come for you?
So in the psychiatric ward, actually on the contrary, I wasn't present most of the time because I kind of had a glimpse of what it feels like to lose my mind. When I first went in the psychiatric ward, I thought, that I was pretending to be crazy and everyone around me were crazy. So I was like, I'm just going to pretend to be crazy. But after the whole incident, then I realized that I was the crazy one. So apparently I went to CGH, I went to IMH, and then, it was a whole 3-week plus process from prison to Changi to IMH, back to prison. So I was on a 3-way restraint, and I think at that point...
Sorry, what is a 3-way restraint?
I think it's either
he was handcuffed to the bed.
Yeah, either I have one hand free or one leg free, I can't recall.
Because you were coming in from...
So I think it was probably one hand free, and then the other 3 limbs are restrained to the bed. Yeah, so most of the day, my mind would I'll be screaming, I would just be in La La Land. I would just basically be somewhere else. Then only very brief moments during this period that I would actually realize hey, I'm here. Oh, this is what's happening. So I think it went on for a while, and then came a day where during one of these windows that I was actually aware of where I was. Then I started praying to God God, please save me. I don't want to lose my mind. Please help me. And then from then on, I think that's where the miracle began. And then I just snapped out of it and then slowly found my way back to...
So how did you lend him? Because he's not there with you physically, right? How did you stay connected and lend him support?
How did I stay connected? Initially, we were allowed to visit him twice a month.
Every time you go?
Every visit, I'll be there.
Yeah. Right. And did that mean a lot to you to see your mom there?
Yeah, every 2 weeks she'll be there. I had 30 over individual visitors, but even when she registered them, they could go on their own. But she will always just be there to make sure that the visit was facilitated. She didn't want to waste any visits and all. I've seen how my parents quarrel over visits because my mom would want to go 1 hour plus earlier and my father doesn't see the need for it. And they come for the visit, both blackface, and then again.
How did your dad respond to this whole situation?
Of course, naturally he will also feel sad, start questioning whether he did
the right thing,
did any wrong things and all. But there's only so much that parents can do. at the end of the day, it still boils down to how much the child would want to do something. So they can say whatever they like, but if the child refuses to listen, then it's a bit hard also. They shouldn't have to take any of this blame.
Or the guilt.
Yeah, or the guilt, yeah.
And I think, Maureen, you always shared that you will never give up. I know most mothers, right? You will never give up on your child. So now thinking back, where did you get that strength from?
Maternal instinct. Because if I give up on him, he has nobody.
Did that mean a lot to you?
No, definitely. It still means a lot to this day, because at that point I had already given up on myself. So I think the only one last person left who didn't give up was my mum, and that's the reason why I'm still sitting here talking to you guys.
Did you feel any sort of guilt towards your mom?
Naturally, not just my mum, to my whole family. That's when I realized, right? Because I always believed that, so long as I was willing to pay for the consequences of my mistakes, then okay I can do whatever it is I want to do. But throughout the whole prison experience, where I see my family, my friends all take time off their schedule to come visit me, and however it is they're feeling inside, or even being labeled as your son is an ex-convict, convict. So I then realized it's not just, even if I'm willing to pay, I didn't ask all these close ones for their permission to pay for my mistakes as well.
Right.
So that was just very unfair for all of them. And then that's where I realized even if I don't mind paying for my own mistakes, I didn't ask any of them
to pay for
so it was highly selfish, highly unfair for them.
And what would you count as your lowest in prison? Because a lot of times they say drug addicts, right? They do go in and out repeatedly, but the change may or may not come, right? What would you say would you count as your lowest, and what do you think really helped? If mom was not in the picture there giving you the encouragement and support, do you think that you would have changed?
That's a very difficult question to answer, because if it didn't happen, then I can only guess, I can only speculate what would have happened, right? If mom wasn't there, or if mom had passed on during my time in jail, then I probably wouldn't have turned out the way I've turned out. I might have just given up. It's very hard to say. The lowest time in prison, I would say, was, I think, the early stages, because of course
you're not used to it.
Yeah, after being 3 weeks on restraint and all, the first time I went to exercise, I actually lost the function to actually run. I forgot how to even run. So I was moving like a headless chicken for a good while before.
What do you mean you forgot? That means the body.
Yeah, because I was trapped on the bed for 3 weeks. That's why.
So your mobility.
Yeah, and then I guess the lead up to the caning session was also not the most desirable. The whole anticipation of, I'm going to get caned, I'm going to get caned. And I have never experienced that, so I didn't know what to expect.
Now, Mason, we go back to your early years, your teenhood, and the years where you probably struggled a little bit, right? What were those years like? When you were sort of getting into drugs and gambling, what was really going on with you? Because you went to VJC, which is a very good school, and then you went to Temasek Poly as well. But both times you left, right?
Yep.
So what was really going on with you at that time? In your mind?
Not much went through my mind, so to speak. But, at 16 years old, when I saw my classmates having cigarettes in his bag, it was like, whoa, you're a smoker, But then at 17, after I tried cigarettes, the next thing, my earlobes were expanded to 20-cent coins, the big holes.
Okay.
I had tattoos, and then I was smoking weed. So there was a very drastic change from that 16 to 17, which I cannot pinpoint exactly
what
why.
exactly it was.
Yeah, it was just teenage rebellion, I guess.
Now, Maureen, for you as a mother, that whole situation, seeing your child, go through that must have been very heartbreaking for
definitely.
you, right? Now, when did you feel that something wasn't quite right?
I see him losing weight, but it didn't occur to me because I always highlight to him the danger of drugs.
Right.
So I never expect him to take drugs.
Now, Mason, what would you add to that? Having been on the other side of it, as the child, causing the trouble.
Like I mentioned, I was very scared of you all the way until primary 3, because up until primary 3, she would always threaten with the cane, but she didn't really cane us. But I was very fearful of my mom.
I don't really,
Yeah, she doesn't really do it. She just...
I'm not so violent.
Who's the disciplinarian?
My mom. My dad was flying all the time, so it's always mom and dad. Yeah, so she has canes at home, but she doesn't really use them. But the whole anticipation of getting cane always deterred me from being naughty lah.
Right. You mentioned earlier you loaned your friend quite a large sum of money because at that time you didn't understand the value of money, right? And then when he didn't return you something, maybe you could tell us about why did you go to Thailand?
The money came illegally, through illegal means in that sense. So the moment when I realized I was not going to get the money back, then I was questioning myself. I said, am I suitable to be doing this job, to be in this industry? Because I don't think I'm hard enough.
When you say this industry, you're talking about the
poker, soccer,
all that, right? How long were you in Thailand?
I was in Thailand for 2.5 years.
Wow.
But I came back every 3 weeks. Unfortunately, the weed there was 28 times cheaper than in Singapore. So, and it was not as strict as in Singapore. So nobody really bothered about that. So I started smoking a lot more weed, just playing FIFA every day. And then maybe every few months I'll fly to Macau to play poker just to maintain that lifestyle.
Right.
Like everything just wasn't
in sync.
Yeah, from making the amount of money to coming down to this level. So everything was like, what am I doing? So that's when I went online, then I went to find legal drugs in Thailand, and then I saw this tramadol popped out. I thought, what was this painkiller and all? Sounds like something I can do. Sounds like something I need right now. So I went to the pharmacy, I bought one slab. It was 10 pills for $1 Sing. The first time I took all 10 already. I felt very good. Like, wow, okay. Finally, I feel a bit happier. Like, there's more meaning now. I can go ahead and do stuff. It went on for about 1+ years. After that, I became a terrible, terrible tramadol addict.
Right.
Yeah, in this period, I lost a lot of weight already. It fluctuated.
Did you confide in your family?
It's something new to me also.
Yeah, they didn't know.
So you didn't know at all, Maureen, like this whole thing?
I'm not aware.
When you came back from Thailand, were you staying at home?
I think when he was working that time, he was staying with me. But I didn't notice anything.
Right. Soon after you were arrested, right? In 2017? 2015. But 2015, that was the longest sentence, right? It's 4 years.
5 years, 10 strokes.
What led to that, actually?
So I actually came back from Thailand. It was only 6 months after that I got arrested. So the first month I tried to go back to poly. I think the next few months
with your uncle.
With my uncle. And then after all this failed, I was like, okay, do what is easiest and go and run a poker house again. So I got this place at Siglap. It was a 2-story place. But even then, to host a poker game is quite simple. It's quite straightforward. Your contacts are your assets. So you just have to blast out your messages and form the game, so to speak. I couldn't even find it in me to organize a game properly. And my tramadol was running out. I was dying inside. I was trying to quit, but it's easier said than done. Of course, now looking back, it was like, just stop. But no, I remember it being the darkest period in my life.
So we talk about, you taking your A-levels in prison, right? What made you, sort of decide to do that?
What else could I do inside prison if I was going to be the most productive? So when the opportunity actually opened up, I went for it. I was going to be there for a good few years, studying and upgrading myself. That's the closest thing I could do to actually make the best of my time. And I knew that, if I at least saw through these A-levels, I could live with myself, knowing that, when I quit VJ, I had all these questions, like if I had stayed true, like would I have been able to make it? Maybe I wouldn't have, maybe my grades wouldn't. So I wanted to address that what if, and at the same time do something inside that could actually make my parents and my family remotely proud. And then, it's sort of a cheat code because inside you don't have any distractions.
No social media.
No social media. There's nothing to contaminate your mind. So of course, a lot of people would think that, it's so hard to study on the inside. Of course, the conditions aren't the most ideal. It's very hot, you have very limited materials. But at the same time, you don't have all these contaminants to pollute your mind.
And Maureen, when you found out that he was going to study...
Yeah, of course I'm very happy.
You were very happy. And what kind of encouragement did you give him? I
asked him to do his best. I always tell him, say, whatever outcome it is, as long as you have done your best, is enough.
Did you write to him when he was in prison?
Oh, yeah.
What would you write to him? Receiving letters from your mom?
We email also, no?
Okay.
Yeah. We'll tell him about, okay, I'm going out with my friends, all this nonsense.
Right. Like daily life, like what?
Yeah,
Like,
so it's like, you run out of things to say.
right.
So I screenshot my conversation with my friends to him.
In the email. Right.
I mean, she ran out of things. There's only so many, how you doing? I hope everything's okay. You can
Right.
do it in 4 years plus. So after a while, I just told her, copy and paste your group chats.
Yeah.
So my family group chats, her and her friends, she'll just copy and paste until all my roommates will know exactly the characters in my life. Hey, yo, that woman like that.
So it's quite fun for you to
They were
There's nothing to
waiting
say already.
for the daily snippets in a day of the life of Maureen. Yeah.
When you got out, you went into NUS. So what was your feeling like after he served and was out of
I
prison?
was very happy.
What was the first thing you all did?
The first thing we did,
Eat KFC.
ate his favorite. His friends went to my place. Yeah, then they were like clearing his clothes.
Right.
He got so many bags of clothes when he came out.
4 years.
Yeah, my brother actually got me
He did everything for him.
Yeah,
got
he
TV,
bought me my
do up the
TV.
room very nicely for
he
him.
got me a PS5.
Yeah.
He bought clothes for me. Yeah, he ordered like my favorite crab bee hoon on the day when I was released.
So you entered NUS at 32, right? So
Very good age,
Yeah. Better late than never, right? Better late. But then a lot of your classmates must have been Gen Zs, I
Yeah.
think. A lot younger than you.
They all are.
So how did that feel? Like the first day, walking onto campus?
I think the stigma
prison
was actually more internal than external. Because I've realized that about Gen Zs, they don't really give
They don't care.
They don't judge,
care.
yeah.
They don't really judge. In fact, they embrace and they welcome such
Everyone
diversity.
has a past, right?
Yeah, it was mostly my own millennial thinking that everybody's gonna judge. But in fact, no, they were very nice, very welcome. They treated me like normal. I mean, it was just any other classmate, just maybe an older one. So
Right.
the stigma was all my own internal battles that didn't really exist, Not with the Gen Zs at least.
Now, were there moments though, like on your own, outside of campus, or like when you had to go and find for work and stuff like that? Did you ever feel that you're being judged by, not in university, but outside? Like, you were also working at that time selling vacuum cleaners and things like that. Did you ever worry about being
Actually,
judged?
no. Actually, outside of campus and all, because in campus I looked older than the rest, but outside I didn't feel that at all. I think because I was doing a lot of all this meaningful stuff and contributing to society in that sense, paying my income tax. That's why I felt more normal than normal,
yeah.
and nobody actually treated me
Any
indifferent. Yeah.
differently. Maureen, what do you think parents these days, with the younger generation, like what do you think that, parents should unnecessarily not worry about?
It's never ending.
It's never
Yeah.
ending.
But I think I would advise parents to treat their children more like friends.
Right. Does she treat you like
Of
a
course.
friend?
Yeah. So they'll be more open with you.
And share more things.
Yeah, but of course not the dark part. But maybe relationship wise, they will, confide in you. Yeah. So I think it's better to treat them like friends.
Right.
Don't pressure them too much.
Because it's a bit different for parents of today, right? As a millennial, you didn't really have social media, right? So the peer pressure maybe really came from your peers around you, or maybe like yourself, like what you mentioned, right? But today they have so many distractions.
Yep.
And now also with the vaping, I think it's becoming a big thing that
The zombies.
the zombies, they're turning to that, and you see a lot of them are younger and younger, right?
Yeah.
So how can parents, or like what are warning signs really? Maybe that's what I'm really asking.
I think it's very difficult, You must know who their friends are.
know who their
Correct.
friends are. Okay.
That's very important. And I think shouldn't be giving them handphone at a very young age, because too much exposure on social media is not very good.
Like
And they learn, at a very young age. They are young, we can control. So when they grow older, like if they have their computer, you won't know.
And now we have more, more spotlight on mental health. I'm going through mental health, work-life balance, or dealing with stress. In Singapore, I mean, we have to admit, it's like a rat race all the time, right? The pressure to do
very
well.
fast-paced.
Very fast-paced. And, when we talk about mental health, it took us a while to get here. Right now, we have more conversations around it and things like that. So what do you think we can do better as a society, maybe from a mother's perspective?
Family meals are very important also. That's, where you communicate. Now everybody is always on the handphone, right? When you see, you go to those hawker center, everybody is on their handphone, and there's no communication at all.
Right.
Yeah. Then there's no connection. Yeah. So everybody is doing their own things. For me, I feel that it's better, like when you're having family meals, it's better to put your phone away, so that there won't be distraction, and then you will have proper meal. Communicating, like asking each other, how's your day? All this, I think it helps,
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Like talking to each other, knowing that your mom or
because they are always on the phone.
Right. And you don't know what's going on the phone.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And how about yourself, Mason?
So I think as a society, I think we're moving forward with the Gen Zs. I think not being so judgmental will eventually lead to people being very open to talk about struggles they may be facing internally, which I think is happening a lot with our current generation. So as time goes on, it'll be more accepted that, nobody frowns upon such stuff. People understand that mental health is an issue. It's not just physical health that matters, especially in the context of Singapore where it's so fast-paced. So being able to be open, to be expressive about it, I think is going to play a huge part in this mental health challenge. Yeah.
Right. And it also goes back to what you shared earlier. People may turn to drugs because they're dealing with some mental health issues and to make them feel better, right? Now that you have graduated, right, what are your plans?
So even while studying and working full-time, I think the next plan was actually to move on to a bigger ticket item. So while in my final semester in NUS, I went to sit for my real estate salesperson examination, which I have successfully passed. So
yay!
I am now currently a full-time property agent.
Wow.
Yeah, I have moved on to doing property.
Do you like sales?
I like what it brings me.
Just start.
Don't we all, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you have these moments where your past comes back, in fleeting moments? Does it ever haunt you, in that sense?
Yeah, of course, from young, I've made a lot of questionable decisions that I might not really like now. But I think looking at the whole picture, it has molded me and shaped me into who I am today. So if I just look at things from a holistic perspective, then if not, I wouldn't have learned. I needed to learn it the hard way. School of hard knocks. But I also realized that about when I look back, of course, there's certain things that I wish I could have done better. But I cannot change the past, so I can only shape my own future from now on. And that's why that motivates me to do the things that I do on a daily basis. Because I cannot keep living in the past. It's going to bring back the depression. It's going to, why did I do this? Why didn't I do that? So it's always about progressing and moving forward. I think that's more important at this current stage.
Maureen, as a mother, as a parent, is there such a thing where, you would say that you've forgiven Mason for putting you through that? Is there even that thing? I don't think, like, from what I hear, like, parents don't forgive their children in the sense that they don't think of it that way.
To me, it's like there's no such thing as forgiving, because no matter what it is, I'm always there for him. So I wouldn't say that I need to forgive him. It's not in my
dictionary.
vocab.
I think just really let it go.
I don't begrudge him for, doing all these things, because people make mistakes, you see. Then I always like to give second chances. Yeah. So, it will show me that he has changed. I'm happy lah. Yeah.
What was the hardest conversation that the two of you had to have?
Oh, that was the time when I gave him a slap. Yeah.
When
the
was
first time I laid my hand on him.
How old were you?
I was 25.
Oh,
yeah.
that was not too long ago.
Yeah.
Because he was pushing everyone away from him, because he wants to, end his life.
Right.
Yeah.
So he tried to make me hate him, you see. Yeah, then mother instinct, right? We know exactly what you're trying to do. So he's trying to push me away by saying all the nasty thing. Then he was like, I remember he was like, don't bother about me, something like that lah. So he got up, then I got up and I gave him a slap. And told him, say, you think I don't know what you're doing now, is it? Yeah, he's trying to push me away. That's where he woke up lah.
Right. What did he say to you that Because there's so
he
much
said,
has
leave me
happened.
alone. Don't care about me. All this
So you
nonsense.
knew that he's
I'm a
trying
bad.
to...
She said, I'm a bad child. I bring shame to the family. All this sort of thing. Yeah.
But you never ever felt
No.
that about him. But you knew deep down inside he's saying that...
To redeem himself.
Right.
Yeah, because at that point I wanted to take my life.
Yeah.
So
He was suicidal.
I wanted to make everybody give up on me so that it would
Yeah.
be easier for me. I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel as guilty when I...
But that was the most stupid thing to do.
What keeps you motivated and accountable to yourself now?
I mean, of course, looking back, there's so many things that I did wrong. Of course, the thought of being able to provide a better life for my loved ones, my mom, my dad, my brother, my girlfriend, that is something that pushes me on. And of course, now that I volunteer a lot more, I hope one day my story can inspire somebody, and then I would be accountable to those people that I actually inspire as well. So the leeway for me to actually screw up is actually much less. Yeah, because I have to be accountable to all these people.
Now, as you know, both of you, right, you've come so far already. What message would you want to give to people, someone who's been through in this position, maybe from a mom's perspective?
Definitely, I won't encourage them to start on it. And to the moms who are
Struggling with this.
struggling with a child, I will tell them not to give up hope and be there to support them and try and, bring them out of it. It's good to keep tabs on them, drop them a text and ask them how they are, show them concern.
Right.
Yeah, because I think moral support is very important. Yeah.
For them to know there's...
For them to feel love. Yeah. So because if there's no love at home, they might find it outside.
a lot of young people may think, which is I think quite common, they experiment. Oh, let me try weed once, or let me do this once. Then they get hooked on it. Or let me try smoking once or drinking, right? What would you say to them now? Maybe...
Don't. Because nobody starts out thinking that they will become an addict. Like, nobody starts gambling, nobody starts drug, nobody starts alcohol thinking, oh, I'm going to become an addict soon. It just hits you when you least expect it, and the next thing you know, you're like, all these vices are going to get you into a lot of trouble. So if you haven't started any of this, my advice is just don't.
Don't touch.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, don't touch. But, advice is always falls on deaf ears. But I believe everybody has to go through their own form of mistakes to experience their own pain, and then they grow from those mistakes. Because nobody grows from other people's mistakes. If you haven't been through that pain, you haven't been through that trauma, likely you're not going to change in that sense.